Thank you.
Well, Frank Maloney's just about to make his way down beside us. He's going to come to join us. You'd never actually guess who he's supporting. I don't think I've ever seen anything quite as blatantly patriotic, but then Frank Maloney is particularly proud of that. We are about to start the contest for the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. A man from Baltimore and Maryland contested this some 60 years ago, but Red Berman was knocked out in 5 rounds by Joe Lewis. And Lennox Lewis, different spelling needless to say, sometimes different pronunciation, is in no mood to do anything less, I'm quite sure. The question, Marvin Hagler, has been all the way through the build-up to this. Which Lennox Lewis are we going to see here tonight?
Well, what I'm looking at right now is Rahman's kind of dry. You know, he didn't really work up a big sweat in the dressing room there. That could be a major factor right now in the first round. Lennox looked very, very loose, very confident, and you know, he's seeing when he came in the ring, just dancing. He's just putting his punches together. Even that jab kind of just shook Rahman right there.
Everybody has made such a lot about the sheer size of Lennox Lewis, but in terms of conditioning, although Lewis is 16 pounds heavier, if you look at the waistline of the two men, Lewis looks in better condition.
He looks in better condition. I was surprised at the shape that he's in. But I'd like to see Lewis keep his hands up a little higher, though. Because this guy here, Rahman, looks like he's trying for a lucky punch in the first round. I noticed that he'd throw a jab to the body and come over the top with a right hand. Oh.
Not too far away by the reigning champion Lennox Lewis, tried to draw the boxer's hands down with the shot to the body himself. Lovely variation. Lewis towering over his opponent by some 3 inches. The only mistake in his career has been that loss to Oliver McCall. Very nasty scar on the right cheek of Rahman, but that was due to a car accident some years ago.
Well, Lewis has got to keep that left hand up a little higher because Rahman is still looking for the right. Looking for that lucky right hand shot.
Well, that's the one, as we've said on so many occasions, that cost him his title and perhaps $30 or $40 million. That's the sort of money the heavyweights make. I don't think even Marvin, you made that sort of money.
Oh, no, I wish I did. See, there's the right hand that I was telling you about. Rahman just caught him with the right hand. And, you know, as you know, Lennox Lewis will try to retaliate that.
Rahman didn't quite have the hand speed of McCall or one or two of the other boxers that Lewis has met, but Lewis now will realise that he has to keep that left up, and that's a good solid jab from the champion. Well, he's got a 4 or 5 reach advantage in terms of actually jabbing out that right hand.
Well, you know, I know that Manuel Stewart's probably going to jump right on him when he gets back in the corner, because you can see he's getting hit with punches that he should never get hit with.
Rahman, the rock, and will he be the rock upon which Lennox Lewis's career will founder? Somehow I don't think so. Lewis being a little bit telegraphic with that right hand of his as we come up to the end of this first round. Better work by Lewis, up on his toes, bouncing confident, 10 seconds to go. Little feint of the right again. Two men who know their business.
Well, you know, one thing that I can say, Rahman, he sure ain't scared of Lewis, that's for sure.
So Lennox Lewis now 35 years old, and Emmanuel Stewart is senior trainer straight in front of him. And it wasn't a bad round at all. Interesting to see how the punches broke down. Well, much more accurate by Lennox Lewis.
Here you go, jail. Good, there you go. Looking good, champion. Just like that. And keep, every time you fuck, hit move, dip jab. Bang the right kidney inside, okay? Suck it in. Stay like that. Don't let things get you excited. Just stay like you are. Nice and relaxed. Suck it in. Suck it in again, woman. Good. Now step a little strong.
Well, they must be fairly pleased, despite the difference in punches thrown and landed, with the performance of Rahman in that first round. Well, Rahman has more than survived the first round and has posed 1 or 2 problems for the champion Lennox Lewis.
Well, you know, I felt as though that round was very much even. You know, they both was testing each other out. Nobody really done any real damage. I believe now that all the butterflies are gone now, and they're going to get the show on the road.
Yeah, well, Lewis suddenly stepped up the pace a little bit, and there was real venom in that right hand that he threw over the top. And you can see the whole tempo of this contest starting to pick up.
Well, see, this is what I was telling you. Manuel Stewart couldn't wait to get Lennox Lewis back in the corner and tell him that he's dropping that right hand, that left hand there. You don't want Lennox Lewis to get too over anxious to fire that right hand.
Well, Rahman has a terrific record in terms of knockouts. There was a good combination by Lewis.
That was a nice left uppercut right hand, and Lewis is very known for that uppercut. And if he found that he can catch him with that, I think he's going to use it a lot more. Do you feel the altitude down was probably trying to take effect on one of the fighters?
Rahman walked onto a very good short left from Lewis, who delayed the punch ever so slightly, fooled him, and then his man came straight onto it. Manny Stewart not too far away from us in the Lewis corner, just gesturing to his man to come forward. Oh, uppercut once again.
Nice uppercut. If he finds that secret right there, and if it's working one time and working twice now, he's going to use it again.
And Rahman now covering him up. He has felt the power of his opponent, and when you feel the power of somebody that big, it must send shivers not just down your spine but through your very existence.
I remember getting hit one time by John the Beast Mugabe. I learned something after that uppercut.
So a much better round this for Lennox Lewis without any shadow of a doubt.
Well, you know, Rock don't know how to fight in the inside as far as crossing his arm to prevent that uppercut, and that's what I thought that he was really working with in training to prevent Lewis's uppercut and that overhand right.
Referee Daniel van der Weiler from Belgium was the man who should have been judging at the first Lewis-Holyfield fight, which is a draw. Good stiff left once again from the champion. Settled into a nice pattern. And almost arrogantly and confidently he pushes his man away.
Again, Lewis is looking for that overhand right. And when he throws the right hand, then he's going to bring that uppercut under again.
Decent little left hand from the challenger coming in. And again. So he's trying to vary his work a little bit and trying to confuse Lennox Lewis.
He's actually trying to get him out of there in this round. And you're wondering if, like I said, the altitude is bothering Lennox because he's got his mouth open, and that's a bad sign.
Lewis putting his man on the back foot at the end of the round, and a baleful stare between the two. And it's been nice and peaceful all the way through, Marvin Hagler, but there was a genuine look of hostility there.
Oh yeah, because he wanted to get this guy out of there. He wanted to get Rahman out of there, and he couldn't believe that Rahman took those uppercuts like that.
Well, interesting variation in that round. We saw many more body shots than we saw in the first round. Rahman's face marking up already. Lennox Lewis looking calm and collected. Remember, we're 6,000 feet above sea level. Frank Maloney, well, that is an outfit and a half. Frank Maloney, I'm not sure that he will get into the Royal Enclosure at Ascot on race day with that.
When you get around, when you're inside, work inside, he's only hit with the right hand.
Well, you know, the way that I feel, Rahman has got to put more pressure on Lennox because Lennox is just standing on the outside. See, there's that uppercut that I was telling you about that was very dangerous. He needs to fill that space in there. And he's got to cross those arms in the inside.
Round three.
Rahman, yeah.
And Lewis looking for that big combination again, and for a big man, he has got terrific hand speed. We wondered which Lennox Lewis we would see. Was it the one who was resigned to going the full distance with David Tua, or the one who tucked Andrew Galotta away in considerable style? And maybe as a combination, overhand right from Lewis, and there's a bit of bruising around the left-hand side of the face of Hasim.
Again, Rahman's still a dangerous fighter right now because he's jabbing to the body and he's looking for that overhand right.
Well, we were talking about Rahman not having broken much of a sweat before this contest, but he really is sweating now.
After those couple uppercuts, you would be sweating too.
Lewis getting the measure of his man. Lewis dominating the center of this ring. Short right hand inside from the champion. And he's able to tie Rahman up when the challenger comes in.
Exactly, a beautiful uppercut there. That's what he's developed. This is what Manuel Stewart has taught him. You remember years ago when he used to drop that punch, he didn't use it to telegraph it. Now he throws it so quick you can't even know it's coming.
The swelling underneath the left eye of the challenger has grown considerably. Lewis with his mouth open. Again, the big right hand, but timed it very poorly.
I think that would hurt me.
Rahman very slowly puts his hands up. There's that right hand. Lewis read it very well. Was on the retreat and then has closed his man down. He really has a nice repertoire, Lewis, hasn't he?
He's doing real well, but the problem that I'm looking at right now is he's got his mouth open. This could be a dangerous shot. If he gets hit in the jaw with the mouth open, that's a dangerous. He's got to close that mouth. It's got to be the altitude here.
Left and then a right and then a short left from Lewis. Dropped the left hand, nearly got himself caught again.
That's what I see. Rahman now, the more he's starting to get more confident now. See, there's another shot. After he takes these kind of punishing shots, the uppercut, he starts to get more braver. But I can see the left swelling over the left eye now.
Well, Rahman matching Lewis more or less in this round, jab for jab. There's very little in it, just about half a minute to go to the end of the third. There were odds of 200 to 1 on Rahman winning this in the first round. Lewis started as a 15 or 18 to 1 on favourite.
It's still too early, you know, and I still don't count Rahman out. And Lennox Lewis shouldn't count him out either.
Well, a little flurry at the end of this round shows that Rahman is by no means finished. And to use that old boxing adage, he really has come here to fight.
Well, this is the kind of fight that we was here looking for.
Good little clip at the end from Lennox Lewis and Gary Richards with Frank Maloney.
Frank, what do you think so far?
So far, he's doing everything textbook. He's got his distance now. He's starting to find the body, which he did in the first round and a half. And now he's just landing shots, hopefully at will. And I think, you know, another round of this, and maybe the fifth round, I think Rahman are beginning to go. The eye's beginning to swell underneath as well from the jab, which is really working first class.
He's got to be careful, though, hasn't he?
Yeah, Rahman's dangerous, but you know, Lennox seems to have found the distance. As I said, he's getting the right hand in, which was missing in the first round, and he's starting to attack the body, which he hasn't been doing. So, you know, I think it's just a matter of time and patience.
Thank you, Frank.
Thank you, Gary. Well, there's been a fair old number of punches thrown in this contest so far, and most of them, I suspect, have come from Lennox Lewis.
Well, you know what I see, Jim, is that when he got caught with that body shot, the left to the body, he backed up out of there and then got caught with a left hook. That's a bad move on the side of a fighter. Never back straight back up in the line.
You've got to keep the head moving from side to side every time.
From side to side. Never show your opponent that you back straight back, because he's going to walk right on top of you, just like Lennox catching him now, probably working on that eye, that left eye.
Good jab by Lewis, and he looks a lot stronger in this round. Oh, uppercut by the champion. Rahman in a little bit of trouble. To be fair to him, he came back, and that right hand of his has come in. And what a great challenger he is.
Rahman said that he was going to make this war.
Well, he has gone to war. Daniel Van de Vele brings them apart. We suspected that we may not need the judges. There's a bit of a timeout been taken. Lewis trying that uppercut again.
That was nice. That was a nice try right there. I couldn't see Rahman trying to walk into that. He's got to keep the pressure on Lennox, though.
Lewis a little bit flat-footed at the moment.
A little flat-footed and a little dirty, hitting behind the head. Lennon is known for holding and punching behind the head.
Rahman still throwing good shots.
He's got to close the gap in right now with Lennox.
Well, Lewis with the mouth really open, and he's trying to suck in what little oxygen there is here at 6,000 feet, just outside Johannesburg, in the aptly named Carnival City. Well, the referee telling Lewis off. Good defense by the champion. Into the second half of this, the fourth round. A lot of people predicted it wouldn't go as far as this, but Rahman is still there.
Well, I predicted this. The way it's looking right now, we should go 4 or 5 rounds.
Now it's Lewis's turn to hold on. It's a little bit untidy in this round, and Lewis hasn't been nearly as dominating. Certainly not compared with the third round.
Rahman's got to get close. He can't stay. Oh, beautiful. This is what he was trying to suck Lennox Lewis in again to throw the right hand, and he countered with his own right.
I think, to be fair, Lewis just moved the chin like half an inch to the side, and it glanced off. But Lewis, obviously, as we know, has a very good chin.
Well, you know, you see Lennox Lewis now playing with him, dropping both hands, and you can see that this guy is a dangerous fighter, this Rahman.
Well, how many people have we seen do that and got themselves caught?
Exactly.
Just about 25 seconds to go. Lewis trying to be first with that jab. Well, there's a little bit of a bounce now on the step of the man in the white trunks, the champion Lennox Lewis. Well, a smile on the face of Lewis, but Rahman is noted not just for a good right hand, but a good left jab, and he's getting that through.
Well, you know, Lennox Lewis has been a lot of times 12 rounds in the championship fights. Rahman has been 2 times 12 rounds, and both times he has won in the last rounds.
Well, that was a very good finish to that round. So 4 gone, and Lewis, one suspects, has thrown certainly many more in the way of punches.
You start shooting the left hooks, you're going to be knocking out of here. Shoot the left hooks, just pick up on the left.
Well, 51 to 43 in terms of punches landed, so Lewis hasn't got his own way. And interesting, Marvin, that last round, it was the challenger who landed more shots.
Sure, well, you know, he kind of rocked, not rocked, but, you know, I think Lennox was more surprised by getting caught with that punch. I mean, you got to respect this guy now.
Well, a bit of action from that round. And Rahman, the hands held up, and that was a good round the corner left from the challenger. And when somebody that size hits you, you suddenly think, what am I doing here?
253 pounds going inside your head. I think somebody's going to have a headache here tonight.
Well, at the moment, that wasn't a bad shot right at the end by Rahman.
I believe if I was Lennox Lewis, I would just start boxing this guy and work on that left eye. Close that eye right up.
Not too far away by Lewis.
Again, Rahman staying too far back.
Everybody talks about the fact that Lewis hasn't been here for that long, but it's been nearly 260 days since Rahman had a contest. He was supposed to fight in October, but had to have a little cyst removed from his lower back. So while he's been preparing as best he can, he's perhaps a little bit rusty in terms of sheer competition. Lewis looking more confident.
He's looking more confident, but Manuel Stewart, I think, has got him picking his hands back up, not being so much of a fancy dance.
Well, the sweat from the pair of them just showering over us here at ringside in our comedy position.
Got my hair all wet, too.
Where did you leave it? Lewis gets the challenger in his own corner, and underneath Manny Stewart saying, come forward, come forward. Now this is where Rahman does not want to be.
Well, they're right in our corner right now.
And Lewis strangely let him away.
Well, you know, Rahman to me is a sneaky kind of a fighter. You know, he backs up, you think you got this guy, you think he's not going to come back and fight, then all of a sudden, he like puts his head down and just throws crazy punches. Looking for that lucky shot.
Midway through the 5th. Rahman still there.
There you go.
Wasn't too far away. Whoa.
This is the shot that I'm just talking about. He put that head down and he just lets it go.
Lewis smiles, but he knows it wasn't too far away. Wonderful jab by Lewis.
There again, Lennox Lewis is starting to drop the hand. The left hand is going down again.
Bit of swelling on the upper lip of Lennox Lewis, and a little bit underneath his own left eye. Good
nice
combination.
Good right body shot to Rahman. I think Rahman felt that one. He's going to make him pay for that the right hook that he just got caught with. Oh.
Oh, he's got him! He's got him! He got careless and he's got him! Is it Oliver McCall all over again? It is! And Lewis has gone! Lewis has gone! It's another upset of immense proportions. This has been billed as thunder in Africa, and the thunder and the lightning and tempest have washed over Lennox Lewis, and all his titles have gone, and he has only himself to blame. Stunning finish. They knew all about the Rahman right hand. They told him about it They said don't do what you did against Oliver McCall, and despite it all, he got too careless. What a finish.
Too overconfident. That's what we was worried about before the beginning of this fight. And I told you it only takes 1 second. Rahman put the attack on him with 3 or 4 left hooks, and then countered with that right hand, and that I felt that right hand.
Well, there is the happiest man on the planet. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. The Rock has triumphed. The Lion has been humbled.
Unbelievable.
That is right up there with the Rumble in the Jungle, with, well, McCall stopping Lewis, more recently with Naseem Hamed losing his title, but I have to say there are very, very few upsets. Marvin Hagler will come close to this.
Well, we was talking about upsets all tonight, and this has got to be the biggest one, I think, of either it ties the Mike Tyson and Douglas.
What a finish, what a right hand, what a challenger, and now what a champion.
Oh, he's got a powerful punch, this Rahman.
Well, he certainly has. He wants to go over to the Lewis corner and say thank you very much indeed. Lennox Lewis got caught way back in 1994 in Wembley by Oliver McCall. He swore he would never get caught like that again, and what do you know, he did get caught like that again. There, look at Lewis's left hand, it's absolutely nowhere near, and he let it go. Oh, what a shot, what a contact.
That is because Lennox Lewis didn't keep his hands up, and he was backing up. Anytime that a fighter backs up and drops his hand, he's vulnerable for a good shot.
Well, there was serious controversy when he
Exactly.
wasn't allowed to continue against McCall, but there was never any doubt about it, and if anything, that was a better punch by Rahman than the one we saw from Oliver McCall some 7.5 years ago.
Well, I got to tell you something, Jim. When you take punches like that, like with Oliver McCall and now with The Rock, it's very hard for you to bounce back again. I mean, now also all the fighters out there now, Lennox is not a threat now. They know if they tag him, he's got to go down.
Well, for the second time in his career, Lennox Lewis has found himself in real trouble. Well, there it is. Lewis couldn't believe it. Rahman certainly believed it because he believed in himself.
I don't know the reason.
Well, we can watch this over and over and over again. It was the punch of dreams from Rahman and the punch of nightmares for Lennox Lewis. Flat on his back and counted out, and his title's gone.
Well, maybe I made the wrong prediction. I said somebody's going to go in the 4th or the 5th round.
Yeah, but you got the wrong somebody.
I got the wrong somebody.
Frank, what went wrong? He proved